Chapter 1. I see a big snake in a book. The snake eats an animal. After eating an animal, this snake does not need to eat for 6 months. I draw that big snake. This is my drawing number 1. But, the man says, this is a drawing of a hat. My drawing is not of a hat. So I draw an elephant inside that snake. This is my drawing number 2. The man says to me, stop painting, just do other things. So I give up being a painter. Now I am a pilot. I can fly to many cities in the world. I meet many great people, but my mind does not change. When I meet a smart person, I show them my drawing number 1. The person says, that is a hat. Then I never talk to that person about big snakes or the jungle. I talk about card games and golf to make him happy. Chapter 2. I have only one friend, who is the little prince. My plane doesn't work in the desert, and I am alone. Also, I only have water for a week. The first night, I go to sleep on the sand. I hear a strange little voice in the morning. Draw me a sheep. What? There is a child who looks at me carefully. Here is a drawing of him, but he looks sweeter than my drawing. That is because, as you know, I do not draw anymore. I look at the child with surprise. You know that this is the desert. The child doesn't seem lost in the desert. I say, what are you doing here? And he repeats, draw me a sheep. So I take out a sheet of paper and a pen. But I am still in the desert. As you know, I do not know how to draw. But he says to me, that doesn't matter. Draw me a sheep. I do not draw a sheep, but I draw the boa snake. Then, no, I do not want an elephant inside a boa snake. I need a sheep. Draw me a sheep. So I draw a sheep. But he says to me, no, this sheep is already very sickly. So I draw over once more. But he says to me, no. I draw another one in a hurry. This is a box. The sheep is inside the box. He speaks with a bright face. That is exactly what I want. Does this sheep eat a lot? Why? Because in my place, everything is very small. I say, he is a very small sheep. There is enough grass for him. He says, not so small. Look, he is sleeping. Chapter 3. I get to know the little prince little by little. When he sees my airplane, he asks me, what is that? That is an airplane. It can fly. He cries out, what? You dropped down from the sky? I answer softly, yes. Oh, that is funny. Ha ha. So you come from the sky too. Where is your star? I ask him quickly with surprise. Do you come from another star? But he does not answer. He looks at the plane and says, you cannot come from very far away by this. After a time, he carefully takes the drawing of the sheep out of his pocket. Other stars? I ask many questions. Where do you come from? Where do you want to take your sheep? He says, this box is the sheep's house at night. If you are good, I can give you a rope to tie the sheep. Tie the sheep? That is strange. But if you don't tie the sheep, he goes away. It is okay, because my star is so small. Chapter 4. I have more information about the little prince. His star is about the size of a house. When a star scientist finds a small star, he gives it a name by a number. I believe the little prince came from star B612. A Turkish star scientist finds this star, but nobody believes his words because he is wearing Turkish clothes. A Turkish leader has great power. He orders his people to change from Turkish clothes to European clothes. The star scientist has on European clothes and talks about the B612 again. So, everybody believes his words. I talk about numbers a lot because men like numbers. When you tell them that you have a new friend, they ask you these questions. How old is he? How many brothers does he have? They always want to know numbers. If you talk to men, you have to tell them, I see a house that costs $20,000. Then they say, oh, what a pretty house that is. If you say to them, there is the little prince. He is lovely, and he is looking for a sheep. They consider you like a child. But if you say to them, the star he comes from is B612, they can understand what you say. I like to begin this story like a fairy tale, but then people will read it lightly and forget about it. My friend is not with me. I don't want to forget the little prince, so I am describing him here. That is why I buy a box of paints and pencils. But it's not easy for me to draw again at my age. Sometimes I make some errors, but I try to draw as best as I can. I make mistakes on important details, but that is not my fault, because my friend never explains anything to me. Chapter 5. On the third day, I hear a story about the problem of the baobabs. It is a tree name. The little prince asks me quickly, is it true that sheep eat little trees? Yes, that is true. Ah, I am glad. Then they also eat baobab trees? The little prince asks me again. I say to him, no, baobabs are not little trees. They are as big as castles. But he says wisely, before they are so big, the baobabs start by being little. Yes, that's right. But why do you want the sheep to eat the little baobabs? Seriously? He does not answer. So I have to find an answer by myself. Maybe there is also good grass and bad grass on his star. If he sees bad grass, he has to pull them out fast. There are very bad seeds on the star. They are baobab seeds. If you pull out baobabs late, they split the small star into pieces. The little prince says to me later, "You have to pull out baobabs like you wash your face every day. It's boring, but it's easy." And one day he says to me, "Draw a picture and let the children know well about this land. If you don't do it every day, you can have big problems." So I draw a star that is breaking from baobab trees. Children, watch out for the baobabs. I draw that tree very carefully. I think this drawing is great. I try to draw on other pictures as well as the baobabs, but I can't. So, other pictures are not as good as that of the baobabs. Chapter 6. Oh, the little prince. Little by little, I understand your sad and little life. On the 4th day, I get more information about the little prince. The little prince's star is very small, so that he can see the sunset at any time. If he wants to see the sunset, he only needs to move his chair a few steps. The little prince says to me, "I can see the sunset 44 times. Chapter 7. On the 5th day, he suddenly asks me, "A sheep eats flowers too?" I answer him, "A sheep eats anything." "A sheep eats roses?" "Yes, sure." "But roses have thorns which are guarding it. Then what use are thorns?" I say what comes out of my mouth. "The thorns are no use at all." "I don't believe you. Roses are weak, so they have thorns. They think that thorns are perfect weapons, and you really believe that the flowers—" I cry out, "No, no, I don't believe anything. Don't you see? I am very busy. I am fixing the plane. This is very important work for me." He looks at me. "Important work? You talk just like the men. You mix up everything together." He is very angry. I know a man. He does not love anyone, but he only loves numbers. And all day he says over and over, just like you, "I am busy. I do important work." It is difficult for flowers to make thorns, but you think that is not important? Is the war between the sheep and the flowers not important? There is only one flower in the world, but one little sheep can destroy it in a bite. You think that is not important? If someone loves a flower, that flower is the only one in the world. He is happy just thinking about that flower. But if the sheep eats the flower, he loses everything. And you think that is not important? He cries with no sounds. And I drop my tools. I take him in my arms, and I say to him, "The flower that you love is not in danger. I can draw a mask for your sheep. I don't know what to say to him." Chapter 8. On the little prince's star, the flowers are very simple. The flowers come out from the grass and go away peacefully. One day, something comes out on the ground. It has small leaves. The little prince watches very closely over those small leaves. The plant gets ready to make a flower. The flower prepares to show her beauty in her flower room. She chooses her flower colors carefully. She wants to come out when it is full of beautiful light. She is a very lovely plant. The flower gets ready for a long time, and finally, she comes out. But the flower says, "I am awake now. I don't look good." Little Prince says to her, "Oh, how beautiful you are." "Sure, I am." "I think it's time to eat," the flower says. "Please think about my needs." The little prince brings fresh water. The flower says, "I am not afraid of tigers. I have 4 thorns." "Tigers don't eat plants," says the little prince. Well, she changes her words. "I don't like the wind. I want you to put me under a glass cup. It is very cold here." And she coughs 2 times. The glass cup? The little prince loves the flower with all his heart, but he is unhappy because he thinks deeply about her words. The little prince tells his mind, "I do not listen to what she says. I just smell the flower." That's enough. But the fact is that I don't know how to understand. I should not have run away from her. Chapter 9. The little prince cleans 2 volcanoes. After cleaning, he leaves his star. He cleans the 3rd volcano. The 3rd volcano doesn't work anymore. If you clean well, volcanoes are okay. He removes the little leaves of baobabs. He waters the flower. He feels that he is very close to tears. "Goodbye," he says to the flower, but she doesn't answer. At last, she says to him, "Forgive me and be happy. I love you too. I don't need the glass cup anymore. But the wind, the cool night air is good for me. I am a flower. But the animals, it's okay. Don't worry about that. Just go." She doesn't want him to see her crying. Chapter 10. The little prince visits stars 325 to 330. On the first star, there is a king. When the king sees the little prince, he says, "Ah, here is a citizen." Every man is a citizen of the king. So the king calls to him, "Ah, here is a citizen." And the king says, "Come close to me." The little prince wants to sit down, but he keeps standing because there is no place to sit. The little prince yawns, but the king stops his yawning. "I'm sleepy, so I can't stop myself." "Ah, then I order you to yawn." The king says, "Your order scares me. I can't." "Then I order." The king is a little bit angry because he has great power, so everybody has to accept his order. But he is a good king because he makes his orders understandable. May I sit down? The little prince asks. I order you to do so, the king answers. The little prince is wondering. This star is so small. Lord, he says to the king, over what do you rule? Over everything, says the king. Over everything, says the little prince. Yes, over everything on every star, the king answers. And the stars obey you? Sure they do, the king says. The little prince thinks, what a great power! If he has that power, he does not need to move his chair to watch the sunset. He feels a bit sad. He remembers his star. I want to see the sunset, the little prince says. If I order a general an impossible command, who is wrong, me or the general? You, says the little prince. That's right, the king says. The command needs to be acceptable. Then my sunset, the little prince asks. You can have your sunset, but you have to wait. The king answers. Until when? Hum. This evening, about 20 minutes to 8. I have nothing more to do here, he says to the king. So I will go on my way again. Do not go, says the king. I can make you minister of law. But there is nobody here to judge, the little prince says. Then you shall judge yourself. The king says to the little prince, but I can judge myself anywhere. Well, then judge the old mouse on our star. It's okay to give him the death penalty. I don't want to put anyone to death. I need to go on my way. No, says the king. If you order me to go, I can follow your order, the little prince says. But the king has no answer. So the little prince goes his way. Chapter 11. A big talker lives on the second star. When he sees the little prince, he says, Ah, you have come to respect me. You wear a strange hat, says the little prince. This hat is for the welcome, he replies. Clap your hands, he says to the little prince. The little prince claps his hands. Then he takes off his hat. The little prince and the big talker repeat these actions for 5 minutes. What shall I do to get the hat to fall to the ground? The little prince asks. He can only listen to good words. Do you really respect me? Says the big talker. What does that mean, respect? The little prince asks. To respect means that you are the best at everything. But you are the only man on your star. Even if I respect you, but what is the point? You are the only one. And the little prince goes away. Chapter 12. There is a drunk on the third star. What are you doing there? The little prince asks. I am drinking, he replies. Why are you drinking? I want to forget. Forget what? The little prince asks again. Forget that I feel bad, he says. Feel bad of what? Feel bad of drinking, he answers. Men are very, very strange. The little prince goes away. Chapter 13. There is a businessman on the 4th star. Good morning, the little prince says to him, but he doesn't answer. 3 and 2 make 5. Good morning. 15 and 7 make 22. Phew! Then that makes 501 million. 500 million what? Says the little prince. Are you still there? I do very important work. 500 million what? Says the little prince again. I have 3 bad stories, the businessman says. The first bad story is about a mistake because of animal noise. And the second bad story is that I have pain in the body. And the third one is now. The businessman says, 500 million what? The little prince asks again. Millions of those little bright things, he answers. Ah, you mean the stars? Yes, that's it, the stars. And what do you do with 500 million stars? Nothing. I only own them. What good is it for you to own the stars? It makes me rich. And what good is it for you to be rich? I can buy more stars. How is it possible to own the stars? Because there is no owner of the stars. When you find a diamond that belongs to nobody, it is yours. I own the stars because they have no owner. Yes, that is true. But what do you do with them? Says the little prince. I count them and recount them. If I own an apple, I can eat it. But what can you do with the stars? Says the little prince. I write the number of stars on a paper, and I can put the paper in the bank, the businessman answers. It sounds romantic, but not important, thinks the little prince. I have a flower and 3 volcanoes. I take care of them. That's what it means to own. But you don't take care of the stars. Men are strange, the little prince says. Chapter 14. The 5th star is the smallest. The star has a street lamp and a lamp lighter. I think this man is less strange than the others. The little prince says to himself, it is beautiful to turn the street lamp on and off. Beauty is truly useful. Good morning. Why do you turn off the lamp? Says the little prince. That is the order, replies the lamp lighter. What is the order? The order is that I turn off my lamp. I do not understand, says the little prince. There is nothing to understand, says the lamplighter. Orders are orders. I'm very sleepy. I don't have the rest of the night for sleep, the lamplighter says. Why not? The little prince asks. Because this star moves faster and faster. Then what? Asks the little prince. Then the star makes 1 turn every minute. What? 1 minute is a day? The little prince says with surprise. Yes, right now we are meeting for 30 minutes. 30 minutes is a month, so we are meeting for a month, the lamplighter says. The little prince wants to help him. He is a true person. I can tell you a way you can rest whenever you want to. The little prince continues. This star can go all the way around in 3 steps. Just walk slowly, and it's still daytime, so that you can rest. That doesn't help. I want to sleep, says the lamplighter. The little prince goes away, and he thinks he's a wonderful person who works for others. The little prince says to himself, I want to make friends with him, but his star is too small. There is no room for 2 people. Chapter 15. The 6th star is very big, and an old gentleman is writing a big book on that star. What is that big book, and what are you doing? Asks the little prince. I am an earth scientist. An earth scientist knows the location of all the seas, rivers, and mountains, answers the old gentleman. It's a great job. Is there a sea on this star? I don't know, the old man says. Ah, then what about a river or a mountain? I don't know. But you are an earth scientist. Yes, but I am not a traveler. An earth scientist cannot leave his desk. The earth scientist says, an earth scientist listens to a traveler and writes it down in a book. That's why the traveler's moral character is so important. Why is that? If the traveler lies, this book becomes a fake book. Also, a drunk doesn't help me. Then, when I meet a traveler of good character, I ask for proof of what he finds. But you come from far away. You are a traveler. Tell me about your star. The scientist opens the book, and he holds a pencil. My star is small, the little prince says. My star has 3 volcanoes. I also have a flower. I do not write about flowers, the scientist says. Why is that? This is a very important book. I can change the story in this book. Flowers are short-lived, so a mountain is more important than a live volcano or a dead volcano. A mountain does not change, the scientist says. But what does that mean, short-lived? The little prince asks. It means it easily goes away, the scientist answers. My flower is short-lived, the little prince says to himself, and now she is alone on my star. He feels sorry. Go to the earth, the scientist says, so the little prince goes away, thinking of his flower. Chapter 16. The 7th star is the Earth. A lot of people are living here. The Earth is large enough to need 462,511 lamplighters for the streets. If you look at the lamplighters from a distance, they look like an opera ballet. Turn on the lights in New Zealand and Australia. Then, turn on the lights in China and Siberia. After that is Russia and India. Next is Africa and Europe. They don't make mistakes. It is amazing. Chapter 17. The story of the lamplighters is not perfectly true. In fact, people can fill a very small space on Earth. But men don't believe me. They need time to talk about numbers. However, you only have to believe me. When the little prince comes to the earth, he sees something moving in the sand. It is a golden color. "Good evening," says the little prince. "Good evening," says the snake. "What is this star?" asks the little prince. "This is the earth. This is Africa. This is the African desert. So there are no people here," the snake answers. The little prince sits down on a stone and looks up to the sky. "Look at my star. It is right there above us. It is beautiful, but what brings you here?" the snake asks. "I have some trouble with a flower," answers the little prince. "Where are the men? It is a little lonely in the desert," the little prince says. "It is also lonely among men," the snake says. The little prince looks at the snake for a long time. "I think you are not very powerful." "No, I'm very powerful. I can send anyone home at once," says the snake. "But you are weak, and you come from a star. I can help you someday if you are homesick. I can." Chapter 18. The little prince meets a flower in the desert. "Good morning," says the little prince. "Good morning," says the flower. "Where are the men?" the little prince asks. "I don't know where to meet them. Men don't have roots, so they go away as the wind blows," the flower answers. Chapter 19. After that, the little prince goes up a high mountain. He thinks, "If I go up top, I can see the people." But he sees only peaks of rocks. "Good morning," he simply says. "Good morning, good morning, good morning," answers the echo. What a strange star. They repeat what I say. My flower speaks to me first. Chapter 20. Finally, the little prince comes to a town. "Good morning," he says, standing before a garden. "Good morning," says the roses. "Who are you?" "We are roses." His flower tells him that she is the only one in the world, so he feels unhappy. If my flower knows this, she can be very upset. Maybe she will say to me, "I will die now." I think that I am rich, but I'm not. I have a common rose and 3 volcanoes. That doesn't make me a great prince." And he lies down in the grass and cries. Chapter 21. Then the fox comes to him. "Good morning." But the little prince can see nothing. "I am under the apple tree," the voice says. "Who are you?" asks the little prince. "I am a fox," the fox says. "Come and play with me. I am so unhappy," the little prince says. "Sorry, I can't play with you. I am wild," the fox says. "You do not live here. What are you looking for?" "I am looking for friends." "But what does wild mean?" the little prince asks. "It means not tame," the fox answers. "What does tame mean?" "It means to be connected." "You are just one of many boys to me, and I am also just one of many foxes to you. But if you tame me, I'm the only one to you in this world," the fox says. "Ah, I understand now. My flower on my star tames me," the little prince says. "Another star? Are there chickens on that star?" the fox asks. "No, nothing is perfect." "My life is very simple," the fox says. "I hunt chickens. Men hunt me. But if you tame me, your footsteps will sound like music to me," the fox says. "I do not eat bread. But if you tame me, I shall love those grain fields. Those grain fields are golden like your hair color," the fox says. The fox looks at the prince. "Please, tame me." "I want to very much, but I can't," the little prince replies. "I do not have much time. I need time to make friends." "If you want a friend, tame me," says the fox. "What must I do to tame you?" asks the little prince. "You must be very patient," the fox answers. "First, you sit down a little away from me. Then you sit a little closer to me every day." The next day, the little prince comes back. "It is good for me to come back at the same hour. I can wait for that time," the fox says. "Also, we have to make a special day." "A special day?" the little prince asks. "Yes, we make one day different from other days," the fox answers. For example, every Thursday, hunters play together in the village. So Thursday is a special day for me. I can go everywhere freely. "Ah, I understand," the little prince says. At last, the little prince tames the fox. But when they have to say goodbye, the fox feels sad. "It is no good for you," the little prince says. "No, it's not," says the fox. "Go and look again at the roses." then come back to say goodbye to me. I can tell you a secret. The little prince goes to the roses, and he says to the roses, "You're not at all like my rose. My rose is the only one in the world. You are beautiful, but you are empty." He goes on, "My rose is more important than all other roses. Because I give her water, I put her under the glass cup. And because I listen to everything she says, because she is my rose." And he goes back to meet the fox. The fox says to him, "Here is my secret. The important things you can't see with your eyes." The fox goes on, "Time is important. Your rose is important to you because you spend time with her." Chapter 22. "Good morning. What do you do here?" says the little prince. "I send off the trains to the right or the left," says the switchman. "A train is moving fast." "What are they looking for?" the little prince asks. The switchman says, "Nobody knows." The second train is moving fast on the other side. "Are they coming back already?" "No, it is an exchange." The third train is moving fast. "Are they following the first one?" asks the little prince. "No, they are following nothing." The little prince says, "Only the children know what they are looking for." "Children are lucky," the switchman says. Chapter 23. The little prince meets a seller. The seller sells a drug that makes you don't need to drink any water. "Why are you selling that?" the little prince asks. "Because it saves people time," the seller answers. The little prince says to himself, I want to use that time to find a spring of fresh water." Chapter 24. On the 8th day, I listened to the story of the seller. I say to the little prince, "Your story is very interesting, but the plane is still not working, and I have no more water to drink." "My friend the fox," the little prince says to me, "this is not the time to talk about the fox. We are going to die." He answers me, "It's good to have a friend, even if you're going to die." He doesn't know how dangerous the situation is now, but he understands what I want. So we begin to walk. Already it is nighttime. Thirst makes me a little hot. "Then you are thirsty too?" I ask. But he says, "Water may also be good for the heart." He sits down and he speaks again. The stars are beautiful because there is a flower that no one can see. The little prince goes on. The desert is beautiful. Yes, that is true, I say. The desert is beautiful because there is water that you cannot see. There is a treasure in my old house, but nobody can find that treasure. Yes, beautiful things you can't see with the eyes. The little prince is asleep now. I walk on with the little prince. The moonlight shines on his face. It is like a treasure. The little prince touches my heart. It is because of the little prince's unchanging heart for his flower. At last, the sun comes up and we find water. Chapter 25. Men take the fast train, but they don't know what they're looking for, the little prince says. We find the well, but this well is like a well in a town. It's like a dream. It is strange. Everything is ready for us, I say to the little prince. The little prince touches the rope. Do you hear? Says the little prince. The well wakes up and it is singing. I say, give me this. It is too heavy for you. I can see the sunlight in the water in the bucket. I am thirsty. Give me some water, the little prince says. He drinks water. His eyes close. This water is good for the heart, like a gift. Men have many roses, but they can't find what they are looking for. You can find it in a rose or some water. You must look through your heart, the little prince says. I drink the water too. The sand color is like honey. You must keep your promise, says the little prince. What promise? A mask for my sheep. I take my drawings out of my pocket. The little prince looks them over. He laughs and says, these baobab trees look like cabbages. The fox ears are too long. You are not nice, I say. I am not good at drawing, but I draw a mask for a sheep. You have plans that I don't know about, I say, but he doesn't answer. My arrival is 1 year ago, says the little prince. I don't know why, but I feel sad. You are traveling to that place? I ask. His face turns red. I go on. Perhaps it is because of a special year? Now you must return to your plane. Come back tomorrow evening, the little prince says, Chapter 26. Close to the well, there is an old stone wall. The little prince is sitting on top of the wall. I hear his voice. Yes, yes, it is the right day, but this is not the place. I hear his voice again. You have nothing to do. You wait for me there. You have good poison? Now go away, says the little prince. I want to get down from the wall. When I look at the foot of the wall, there is a yellow snake. That snake can take your life in just 30 seconds. I pull out a gun, but the snake goes away. Why are you talking with snakes? He doesn't answer. I give him some water to drink. He puts his arms around my neck. I am glad that your plane is okay now, he says. Now you can go back home. I am going home today too. It is farther away. It is more difficult. I have your sheep, and I have the box, and I have the mask. I say to him, You are afraid. He smiles lightly. I say, I want to hear your laugh again. But he says to me, Today is a year. I can find my star. He goes on, The important things you cannot see. I reply, Yes, I know. If you see the star, there is a flower. Yes, I know. If you drink water, you can listen to music. Yes, I know. And at night, you look up at the stars. You can't see my star because it is so small. So you think that every star is my star. He smiles again. Ah, little prince, I love to see that smile. That is my gift, just that. Everyone has their stars. For travelers, the stars are guides. For scientists, the stars are problems. But for you, the star is laughing. I shall be laughing on my star because of you. You are always my friend. You can laugh with me anytime. But if your friends see you smiling at the sky, they think you are crazy. So I give you a smile bell, not a star. He quickly becomes serious. Tonight, you know, do not come. I want to be with you tonight, I say, but he worries. It is also because of the snake. He may bite you just for fun, but I want to be with you tonight. He goes away without a sound, but I catch up with him, and he takes me by the hand. It is wrong of you to come. You know, it is too far. I cannot carry this body with me. It is too heavy. He goes on. But It's nice. I can hear the sound of water. You have a great many little bells, and I have a great many wells. Here it is, the little prince says, and he sits down. You know, my flower, she is so weak. She needs me. I sit down too. That is all. And he takes one step. There is a light of yellow close to his feet. He falls as gently as a tree falls. Chapter 27. 6 years pass. I come home safely. My friends are happy with my safe return. I know he goes back to his star, and at night I love to listen to the little bells. I forget to draw a rope connecting the mask. He can't put a mask on a sheep without a rope. Does the sheep eat the flower? I say to myself, no, the little prince puts a glass on the flower every evening. But what if he forgets about the day? What if the sheep get out at night and eats the flower without a sound? It's funny. The world depends on whether the sheep eats the flower or not. It is here that the little prince comes to earth and goes away. I look at it carefully. Maybe the little prince will come back. If you meet the little prince, please let me know.